Hey everyone, I'm now ready to show you 3-point editing using the insert key. In my previous video, I showed you how to use override. And pretty simple, right? 3-point editing so far, so good, right? All right, now let's talk about insert edit here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this clip that we used to do an override edit, and I'm going to hit the up arrow to go to the end of the clip. And now, instead of the overwrite, which was period, and I just showed you there, I'm going to undo to hit Command Z or Control Z on a PC. Now I'm going to do insert right here with comma here. So I'm going to hit, go ahead. I'm going to actually click on the icon because you could do it that way too. So hit insert. And as you notice, it's exactly the same thing as the overwrite. So you're like, what's the difference? Why have two different functions that are going to do the same exact thing? And this is where this is where you it won't make sense until I do something a little bit different on the timeline here. So at the end of the clip where there's nothing that follows, the override or insert is not going to really matter. It's when the playhead is in between two clips or in the middle of a clip that you're going to really see the difference with override and insert. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to move the playhead over here now. Let me play this clip just to give you context here. So we have our character walks in and ready to open the gate. So maybe right there, I went ahead and again using JKL, right? This is where I want my third point to be, right? So we talked about in the last video, in point being the first point, the out point being the second, and the playhead being the third point. So now let me show you the difference between overwrite. So I'm going to hit overwrite. All right. So now overwrite, you can see what it does is it just plops the clip down and deletes whatever was already there before and replaces it. So I'm going to hit Command Z. And now I want to show you what insert does. All right, did you see the difference there? Let me show you one more time. Take a look. Overwrite. Okay, take note. Insert. So if you didn't see it, what the difference is that overwrite will lay itself on the clip and overwrite and replace whatever is existing in that space of the timeline here. And insert, what it's going to do, it's actually going to preserve this part of the clip. And what it's going to do instead, it's going to split this clip at the playhead at the third point, push anything to the right of it down, and it's going to wedge this portion of the clip between the in and out into that space in between the two, like this. See how it just splits it and doesn't destroy that part, it preserves it. So if you want to look at override as sort of a destructive tool and insert as a non-destructive tool, that might be a good way to look at it. And when would you use the two? When would you use an override versus an insert? And I would suggest that the override probably best used for when you're doing like music or sound effects. That generally I find to be very useful, or graphics when you're overlaying it on top of videos. I find that to be more effective for overlay. And when it comes to insert, that's primarily for picture editing, like when you're actually editing your video clips and just focusing on the story structure. That would be the insert. Maybe that's why they have insert before overwrite. That's the only thing I can think of, is that most people will generally use insert. I don't know. Or maybe the key functions, comma, is before the period and left to right. So maybe that's the reason. But I don't know. I use insert more often than override. But so insert, override. There's a difference there. Now, if that still doesn't make any sense, I'll just kind of manually do it with the mouse, just drag and drop, just to show you how it works. So I'm just going to drag and drop and do an quote unquote overlay edit here. And so I could drag it down to timeline. This is what an overlay edit is going to look like. It's going to just lay itself on top like that, right? But I'm going to just do it right on V1 here and just go boom. That's an overlay edit. I'm going to undo, Command Z, and the insert edit is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be basically dragging it here, just like an overwrite. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to drag it from the middle of the clip here. So this is what an insert is going to do. It's going to do that, but what it's going to do next is it's going to split this clip, which I'll do right now, and I just cut the clip in two using Command K, which I'll go over a little bit later. It's going to split it down there, and then it's going to drag itself down here like that. This is what an insert edit is going to do. I hope that makes sense what I just did. I kind of did a manual version of what it's going to do. And so to save all that manual work, what it's going to do, I just hit Command Z a bunch of times there. Instead, in one sort of fell swoop, if you want to say it that way, it just does the insert for you right away like that. And that's the difference between an overwrite and an insert edit.